Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to be glad you watched this show if you're a small business owner, because we're going to be hearing from a national thought leader when it comes to trademarks and intellectual property. That's just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
So this happens every day in America. Some person starts a company, comes up with a great idea, company starts to grow, and then suddenly they realize they haven't trademarked any of this stuff. They don't actually own their own property. To talk about that today, Tyler Berger. She runs a very successful law firm, the Berger Law Firm. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to talk about my boring topic that I love, that really matters to a lot more people than they think.
Yeah, well, I think about it all the time because, you know, how many things are we doing at this company that we haven't actually trademarked? And tell us why that's so important.
So one thing that that's kind of common knowledge is to protect your name with a trademark. But this became even more important during the pandemic when people were moving more to the online space. We were noticing that there was a significantly higher amounts of conflict because people that used to not have an online presence were either moving to online, or they were increasing their online presence because that was the only way to do business.
Wow. So do you own the rights to your own name? Like if you had not gone ahead and trademarked the name of your firm, could somebody swoop in and steal it?
Yes, they could. However, there is a little caveat to if you're using your own name that you can always still use your own name, but any brand names, whether you filed with the state, however long you've been using it, none of those things actually matter when it comes to actually having the protection on your side. And when that really comes into play is, say, your Facebook account, your YouTube channel, your domain name, all of these things you can't protect without your registered trademark.
And so like we take the iconic Nike swoosh, which is clearly trademarked, but if somebody came in and wanted to alter the swoosh, make it similar but not identical, does Nike have a claim?
Absolutely. They do. And Nike's mark is actually famous. So it's going to have a higher level of reach than just your ordinary marks. But something funny I ran across the other day was a client of mine, their customer had taken their logo and inverted the colors and then inverted the name. So for instance, think if I was Under Armour and then, you know, someone comes along and wants to call themselves Armour Under, that's not going to work with your trademark. So it also makes it pretty clear that they are obviously following someone and trying to, you know, piggyback off of their name.
I want you to listen to Tyler. She knows what she's talking about, and she's very generous when it comes to giving advice. Her social media feeds are robust. Let's roll one clip right now.
Every trademark application must be connected to a particular international class and an accompanying identification of the goods or services within that class. This prohibits people from blanket protection of a word or a phrase. Every once in a while, you'll hear a celebrity say that they are going to trademark this phrase. While they can trademark and protect a phrase, the trademark application has to specify what goods or services they're using that phrase in connection with and how it will be used to market or show to the public the use of that name.
Wow. I think this is great. And she just has dozens and dozens of videos like that. So please follow her on social media. We'll give you her handles here in a minute. You were telling me a story just before we went on the air about a luxury watch company you were helping.
Yes. So one of my oldest clients, it's something very interesting that I think a lot of people, especially in the entertainment industry, need to think about. We filed a trademark for his actual brand and the underlying business, which is a retail store. And then, as many people are starting to do now, and as of course you know, the social media aspect, entertainment aspect of things is now almost essential to marketing, particularly e-commerce businesses. And when people file to protect the name for the underlying service, so for instance, retail service or even maybe makeup artistry services, and then they start providing information on a YouTube channel and using the business name, that is actually a separate trademark altogether.
Because they moved into entertainment.
Yes. So they started as a retail store and realized that giving a little bit of advice really worked well for their marketing. So they started giving more advice. And the next thing you know, they're getting, hundreds of thousands of followers on YouTube. And when I saw this, I was like, oh my goodness, this is getting out of hand. We have to go back and file a new trademark because if luckily, we got that done and it's all been accomplished. But if they hadn't done that and someone else were to, whether they were doing it because that was their own business idea or they were doing it maliciously, if someone sneaks in and gets that trademark registration before you do, they send in that registration certificate to YouTube, for instance, and your channel name is no longer available. Wow. And, that's how people find you. If you can't use your name, people can't find you. So it's really important. And it's important for people to think about, kind of that general advice. You need a trademark. Yes, that's the general advice and that works. But if you've made a change over the years in what you're doing, particularly with online marketing, that name is essential.
So for a typical business owner, say 50 employees, how often should they have a checkup with somebody like you?
It really depends on the type of business, but every trademark, U.S. federal trademarks need to be renewed every 5 years. So I'd say probably about every 2 to 3 years. It's a good idea to just take a look at your use, make sure that you haven't made changes to things or that you're using a tagline maybe that you don't have rights to. I have a lot of people that try to use these taglines, not even the business name, but the taglines, because they're so, integral to the services. So say, for instance, med spas, ageless beauty or renew your look, things like that. You just kind of start using them on accident. And next thing you know, it's in all your advertisements. Yes. That's become your tagline. And not only could someone come in and prevent you from using that anymore, but with the taglines in particular, I run into the people using them not having the rights to use them.
Yes.
So not only can they be taken away, your use of it, but you can also be sued and be liable for damages for that use.
So let's suppose you're at home, you're watching a movie. Matthew McConaughey says, "All right." Could you run out and copyright that or trademark that real fast so that Matthew McConaughey has to pay you to use it?
Potentially, actually. You can protect it. It would just have to be protected with regards to a certain product or service. So say I wanted to name the tagline for my YouTube channel, all right. And Matthew McConaughey's use of it was in connection with something else besides entertainment services, then I would have the rights to it.
Wow, that's fascinating. Matthew, if you're watching, get a trademark. You have been featured in countless publications. We're going to put one up on the screen from Hustle World. You are a brilliant female entrepreneur. What's it like to pave your own path?
Well, honestly, my clients have been an inspiration to me. That's one of my favorite things about what I do is getting to work with the people I work with. They're entrepreneurs. They're thinking out of the box. Sometimes they call me at 9 o'clock at night, but, or my staff at 9 o'clock at night because they've been busy doing the other things all day. But being a business owner myself, I gained a lot of the inspiration to do it from my clients. And then as I've taken the steps and grown the business, which there's still a lot of growth left to happen, and we'll get there, but the more I do things as a business owner, the better I'm able to identify with and communicate with my clients. And then also on the approach to helping people standpoint, I understand now more than ever the importance of delegating things, the importance of just really focusing on your skill set, what you're good at, what, where your bread is buttered, so to speak, and saving the things that you're not good at for someone else who is a professional.
I couldn't agree more. Unfortunately, we're out of time, so I'm going to let you put up your social media handles. What are some ones that you want people to know about?
Oh, yes. So I'm really active on my Instagram. You can find me at Berger Law PLLC, or on my LinkedIn page, which would be just Tyler Berger or the Berger Law Firm.
Outstanding. Tyler, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. And that's it for now. We'll see you next time.